Right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean with Blue Ridge. Hope everyone's doing well. To kick off your week, it's Monday morning. I figured this would be a good time to kind of talk about auctions. And we're not going to kind of like dive into like the deepest, darkest, things, whatever that looks like, and how that's interpreted. Me personally, I don't work for the auction companies, so from being the guy on the outside looking in, I have very limited knowledge of how the internal structures of all these auction companies work. What I do want to do, being that I'm an avid seller and buyer of a lot of things, not just coins and currency, which is, as you guys know on this channel, is something that we talk about. I wanted to talk about what I sell, what I buy, and which platform do I like to use. In addition, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys can take advantage on, where you could save money and possibly make money at the same time. It's kind of like a all-purpose, one-and-all type of video, where it really revolves around the buying and selling experience. Because obviously, in the best scenarios, we want to buy an item very cheap. We want to sell it for very high. So we're going to try and take advantage of what we could do, kind of like the best practices that we could implement to make that happen. All right, so we're going to focus on that. We're going to get started here in a minute. I wanted to take a little time to show you guys this. This is actually the tray for the upcoming Blue Ridge Silverhound Whatnot Auction Silver Sampler Sale, which is going to be on Friday. Now, I'm just showing you the tray. You're probably looking at a very small little thumbnail picture on the bottom right-hand corner of this video. But I will be doing an official preview video coming up this Wednesday for that particular sale. All right, people scored a lot of great deals last week when I did my first sale on Wednesday. Thank you, by the way, for the amazing amount of support. A lot of people took advantage of their $15 credit. If you haven't signed up for the platform, I think it's another great way to pick up coins on the cheap, because Whatnot is a new upcoming platform that really is a derivative of the sports card world. And then now they're dipping their toe into things like coins and currency, and there are dealers and other casual sellers on the platform, and then people are just making a really good kind of buying experience by buying something that's a little bit cheaper than normally what they would get on eBay. So if you guys are interested in this is coming up on Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then you guys there in the Central and Mountain Times, you guys know where you fall there. But yeah, we also have more giveaways. We're doing a little mystery bag. There's 3 giveaways in here, and it's going to be awesome. So go ahead and take advantage of the $15 credit when you sign up. Again, my link will be down below in the description box, but it will also be pinned in the comments field of this video. And I'll also put a link for those of you that are already signed up. I'll put a link to that upcoming live stream down below as well in the description box. So there's be a few links for you. But can't wait to do this. And then I'll also announce the upcoming show schedule. Because like I had mentioned, we're going to be doing coin auctions every Friday. It's not starting in March, however, because I'll be gone the final third of the month. But in April, we're going to go back to that normal schedule of every Friday having an auction. And then every Wednesday will be the preview for that upcoming auction for the week. So can't wait to sell some of these. Can't wait to give away some awesome giveaways. And of course, we also have buy it nows that are available and accessible to you immediately by hitting that show for the silver sampler and just going into the buy it now store aspect of it. And, I got silver. I have other neat things. I'm going to be uploading more stuff today. So stay tuned for that. But getting back to what's important, what's good is Yeah, auctioning, buying. Is there any real kind of secret as far as buying something? You know, how are you going to guarantee that you could get the best possible deal at any given time? Well, there's a few things I personally keep an eye out for. So on eBay, and we could spend like a whole video doing eBay, but here's some of the kind of like the things that I like to personally do. And we're going to go into collectibles like we normally do to look at coins and paper money. And I love doing this particular activity in the evening because I've actually scored some really great deals on coins and currency late in the evening. Because ideally, when you're selling on the platform, you want to set it up so that way, if you're a seller, that you don't end your item too late in the evening. And you would be surprised how many people have ended listings like in a late hour, like at midnight, 1 o'clock a.m., 2 a.m., things like that. And you just don't have people available at that time unless they're really night owls and coin collectors. As long as it's that late at night, you're really not going to have too many people on board. All right, so let's go look at bullion. Bullion's always popular. Let's do silver. And how I like to kind of do everything here is, I want to set this up so that way it doesn't showcase like all the kind of like the sponsored listings and all that, because that on the front page, when you don't type anything up here and then kind of drill it down to something specific you're looking for, it's just going to put like popular sponsored items. All right. It may not necessarily be what you want. And it's also oriented like this where you have thumbnails as opposed to a list. Me personally, I like the list format, although this is pretty nice too. But it'll give you kind of like a much better, more, I don't know, more focused way of looking at all the items. All right. So in this particular case, you could certainly do buying format. The reason why buying format's important is that there are people that fall asleep at the wheel. And what they'll do is they'll set up buy it now listings, which are really essentially just like they're ready to go. Go ahead and click on the item, add to cart, and then check out. You're buying it for whatever they're asking for. But you're going to come across, and then I'll switch to list view right here. And this again, this is where you could really score some pretty cool stuff. In that you could find certain items that are priced cheaper than they should be for what they are. Like, for example, the Scottsdale Mint Silver Stacker, which is 2 ounces in size. It's $60, which is reasonable for what it is. Scottsdale stackers tend to have a pretty good premium. Sometimes you can find these more expensive than Silver Eagles. They're a high quality bullion piece because they're designed as such, so that way they're stackable. The designs pop off the round, and they're really pretty. But maybe you have that one outlier where someone had just posted a brand new silver stacker round, and they maybe mistakenly put it up as a 1 ouncer. All right. And then they put it up for sale for, say, $30. All right. And this, again, you're going to be taking advantage of little mistakes, whether it's in the listing title, which admittedly I've done before, especially in my earlier days. I've accidentally typed something that wasn't accurate about it, and it really was more advantageous to the buyer by the time they pick it up and had scored maybe 50% off what the actual market value is. But in reality, it's a 2 ounce round that they had sold for, say, $30. Okay, so that's one such example where, you could really score a big deal. Now, again, the formatting here, let's go ahead and just type in silver so that way we could get rid of like all of the kind of like whatchamacallits there. This is much more like it. So you want to get to the screen, and you do have to type something up here to get all of the listings within the bullion section of coins and paper money. And then oftentimes silver is one of the premier keywords for this. So definitely use it. All right. So what I like to do is I will change the sort feature to newly listed. And here's why I do this. I do newly listed and I do buy it now. So the buying format will be buy it now. And this is where you can take advantage of someone sleeping at the wheel and scoring a really good deal. Now, there are people that camp out in any sort of collectibles section of eBay, and they sit there every like minute. They'll sit there and they'll just refresh the page until someone posts something that's like way too cheap, and then they'll buy it. All right, so that I've done it a number of times, and I've scored some awesome stuff, for like 30, 40, 50% off what their retail price is. But this is a pretty good trick. And there is just like an ungodly amount of listings that go up. I would say every 10 minutes, that this is something that you probably should practice. So yeah, we're here. These are the newest listings as of right now. And then, if I sit here and refresh it, then, yeah, so we have a new item that popped up. 2023 W Proof Silver American Eagle Congratulations Set. $99.99 or best offer. I mean, is that really a good deal? Probably not. That's a little bit more than what this goes for. But, kind of scan just the front page of like 25, 30 items. And because if it's too good of a deal, then they would have already been picked up. I guarantee it. So, again, speed's name of the game here. As you're going through and kind of checking out some of the items here, you might have like a secondary window open like such, and then you could probably either type in another eBay window, and then, you would type in, to just kind of be ready to type in some of the items that you see, so that way you can audit the pricing. So if you put in the pricing, you see sold listings, and that item, say, is sold for $65, but yet someone is offering it for $40, that's a good, you're going to have to jump on that. No doubt about it. But, this is a really awesome way to pick up coins, precious metals, currency, and just about every other collectible. You know where people are sniping the best deals off of this method is sports cards. Because people, by nature, and this is kind of like more of a testament to how flooded the modern sports card market is. People are picking up these numbered base cards or numbered autographs, and the seller will put it up as a buy now listing, but it's like way too cheap because they don't know how much they are, maybe due to lack of sold sales on the platform, things like that. But this is something you can do even on coins, and then people definitely fall asleep at the wheel. I mean, this Silver Eagle right here, a BU Silver Eagle, 1995. If you could pick one of these up to where it is unbelievably clean and immaculate, you guys do realize that a 95 Silver Eagle that grades mint state 70 is worth a few $1,000s. So, there is also that. As long as the pictures are really good, you could really use this to your advantage. It's not just about buying an ungraded coin for cheap, but it's also about recognizing rarities that are ungraded that you could possibly send out to a PCGS or NGC. This is what they call cherry picking, essentially. But you're cherry picking bin listings, buy it now listings for some of those. And also, like these 1 ounce bars, like there are some rare bars, like the Royal Canadian Mint used to mint their own 1 ounce bars. I think they even did other sizes too, like 10 ounce and a few other weights as well. So again, definitely utilize this. This is something you can get started with just a few $100s. And then if you work on this like the whole week, you dedicate maybe an hour or two per day. You don't have to spend all day on there unless you have that kind of availability. But I've heard of people starting out with a few $100s, and then after like 30 days, they've already made a few $1,000s implementing this method. And this is something that I have taught and teached a lot of folks who are getting into the hobby that want to make money with it. And one of the coolest parts about precious metals specifically is that it is a very narrow learning type of asset class that you could jump into right away. I mean, there's nothing more dumber than saying 1 ounce of silver, right? You just have to recognize possibly some of the different companies like Engelhard and Scottsdale and APMEX and things like this, and really familiarize yourself with how much these bars and rounds are selling for in the marketplace. And then, with that kind of knowledge, you can do really well in this. Okay. And the same with Silver Eagles, which ones are a lot tougher at the highest grade than some of the others, like in 1996, which is the self-proclaimed key date of the Silver Eagle series. That's a very cherry-pickable coin. And by itself, I've cherry-picked a number of BU 96s for like $7-8 over melt. All right, so I pick them up for like $30, and it's like, man, this is a heck of a deal. And then, you could resell it however you see fit, whether reselling it on the platform, or you have someone locally to you that buys these things and then sell it to them for whatever market price is, which I've done a lot of times. I have quite a bit of a network in case you guys haven't figured it out. But this is one of the things that I like to do. All right. So in much the same fashion, ladies and gentlemen, when we go into doing the same thing, you guys realize that outside of precious metals, one of the hottest selling coins right now are Morgan dollars or even peace dollars. Any big, large dollar-sized coin, it has a lot of attention paid to it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into collectibles. We're going to go to Morgans. And this time around, I'm actually going to type in Morgan, so that way I could get rid of the filter line right there. And there you go. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this best match to ending soonest. So these are all going to be the coins that are going to be ending the soonest. And really, you're just going to scan the coins. See, some are selling in less than a minute, so you don't have a lot of time to act. But again, this is where your deeper knowledge of like which coins, for example, sell for a lot more money when they're graded, or checking for VAM varieties in advance, and then just kind of camping on a coin. Like, here's a 1889 AU Morgan. That's at $35. $4 shipping, but also keep in mind there's 15 bits with 2 minutes left today. This could be a good deal. All right, but you also have to realize that there are other nuances that go into this where you could possibly make a lot more money. All right, and that's things like varieties, condition plays a huge role in it too. Like this person had said, this is an AU Unk Morgan. Click into the picture. Bring up the listing. All right. Does this thing look clean? I mean, those fields look awfully clean. My worry is that this coin possibly could be whizzed. It just has that kind of appearance to it. The luster looks a little unnatural. So I probably wouldn't stake a lot of resources on this one, whether that's time, whether it's money, and then really decide how much you want to snipe into the bid last second. All right, so put in your bid with like 3-4 seconds left. That is high enough and comfortable enough for you to win that listing. All right, and sometimes it's really just a matter of, again, doing your homework in advance. So this also might be a little bit helpful for you, but changing the buying format from all listings to just auction, all right, which is where you're going to get your best deal, because people are listing these with bids, and sometimes they'll start out at, say, $1 starting bid, and they put it up for 5 or 7 days, and you just really have to monitor it. Is this coin ending at 10 o'clock at night, when a lot of people are kind of turning in for the evening, keep an eye out for these. And that's why I like looking at auction listings that are ending with like 10 minutes left. And I hop onto eBay at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time, my time. And for a lot of folks like further east, you guys are already going to be at midnight. You're going to be at 1 o'clock. You know, you guys are going to be asleep. And I'm going to be sitting here trying to score deals at my time, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, you know, which is kind of like my power hour, so to speak, when I'm trying to hunt for inventory. So again, this is another way that you guys can take advantage of picking up some sweet deals. All right. Look for those errors, look for those varieties, and you shouldn't go wrong. You know, and then oftentimes, you know, these coins are going to sell. If you have a seller like this small sword guy right here with 147,000 feedback, you know, they could sell this at a loss and they would be okay with it because they're a large enough seller that it's just going to be a sale to them. You know, the larger stores that exist on eBay, they're not about hemming and hawing and saying, oh, I made a mistake selling this. I sold it for like 50% off. They don't care. They don't want to keep the inventory on hand. They just want to turn and burn is what it is. They turn it and then they burn it for however much it sells for. And that's kind of how everything works here with this. And then, you know, you get into like the more key stuff, 91cc Morgan, you know, if the condition's nice enough, you could buy it. And sure, $867 seems expensive, but what if it's not? What if that coin grades out like Mint State 63? That's going to be an expensive coin. That's going to be like $2,000 to $3,000. You just never know. So if the pictures are good enough, utilize that to your advantage, and then you could really do really well doing this, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, because you're not only going to be making it a business, but you're also going to you know, it is something that a lot of people universally love to collect and stack. And that's these silver dollars. So those are a few of the good practices that I wanted to talk about when you're buying on here to get the biggest deal. Kind of like the big secrets that a lot of the more tenured eBay sellers and buyers know about. You guys now know. All right, and it's as simple as you know, picking something that is very popular. I gave you two things: silver bullion and Morgans are two of the hottest selling numismatic related items today that you guys need to know about. And again, people are underselling these things. You know, they're kind of like juking themselves out because, you know, it's like, oh, this thing can't be worth no more than this. Or maybe they called the dealer before they listed it on eBay and said, oh, I have this coin, you know, it's got a CC mint mark on the reverse. How much is it? And then, you know, the dealer might say, well, we could give you $80 for it. And it's in a GSA holder like this, you know? So what are they going to do? They're going to say, oh, I think I could sell for a lot more once I get off that phone. You know, she's going to tell her husband, like, we could sell this for a lot more. So how about we just throw it up on eBay, $150, buy it now listing, and get rid of it, knowing full well that it's like a $300 coin in today's market. So, you know, and again, date plays a role because in Carson City Morgans, there are specific dates that are so wildly expensive. 1890, folks, 1889 CC, 1878, like the one that you see here, 79 CC. These are some really tough dates. 1892 CC, another big date that is very expensive in a GSA holder. So yeah, I mean, guys, I mean, this is available for you out there. I know a lot of you had commented on how you can make money right now doing this. And I just told you the secret sauce to being a buyer on the platform where you could take advantage of sellers' mistakes. You could take advantage of, a really big one, like I had mentioned in preface, was the listing time. You know, like setting up the auction way too late, depending on where you're at, and then, you know, the thing ends up selling at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, that's something that you can take advantage of, and it is what it is. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully, you guys got a little bit of a takeaway in doing this. Again, a lot of the more tenured eBay, buyers are very well aware of this, but they can't be on the platform at all times. So this is where you could come in and be another, kind of like person that is kind of like shaking the proverbial tree, among some other folks that are shaking the same tree too, waiting to see that coconut fall and then really taking advantage of what it has to offer. So that's what I want to talk about. Thank you guys again for tuning in to my video. Hopefully, again, this has been a great help for you guys who are starting out that want to make an immediate impact of trying to do and make something happen financially for you. Again, check out my Whatnot auction Wednesday. Again, we'll be doing the preview of all the coins that I'm going to be having on Friday for auction. We got the giveaway as well, along with those buy and now listings. So if you take advantage of the $15 credit, you can pick up a few of my silver pieces on there, and essentially it'll be free. Now, I will say this. There have been a couple people that have had issues with the $15 credit, like it's not showing up. Contact Whatnot customer support, and they will take care of that for you. The folks I had contact them, those folks have gotten their credit immediately. So just to let you know. But it'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys are going to have a lot of fun trying this method out on eBay. Because, and again, it's going to take some patience. You're going to find, cheaper coins first. And then you're going to get a little bit more brave. You're going to want to buy up some of the more expensive stuff. But you have to start somewhere. And in addition, this is a great way to add pieces to your collection, like nice relevant pieces to your collection for a lot cheaper than what you would normally see at any other time of the day. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys again for tuning in on this video. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. So I will see you guys later. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Coinaholics, we are discovering together. All right, take care.